information. It's not the engine, it's the air jack. Watch the air jack in the back. Fueling, fueling, fueling. Air jack goes up and back down again. I think he realised his mistake there, don't you, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think that must be the case. And again, a very unusual mistake. You can see there the car went up again there when they to change the wheels on that car.
Now, if we can see it all the way from this camera, oh, thanks guys, brilliant stuff. Now, once it comes in, slides. Now the fuel is in. Fuel is still going in. Still going in. Still going in. He's gone on. Oh, the fuel is still on.
Oh, it's barely off the ground, isn't it?
As a sprinter, and he knows, and that's why they've come in straight away. They know they've been called for it.
The car was up in the air.
I remember a famous Canadian Time Motorsport as it was then lost the race because someone reached in and took some debris out of the front of the car on their final pit stop whilst their fuel was going in. And you could argue that he didn't actually touch the car, he only touched the debris, but it was cold. And you know, that on the smallest of things, do race victories come and go.
Particularly when it's as competitive as it is here in the American Le Mans Series in GT.
I think he's dropped off the lead lap actually, because if you look ahead of the BMW number 55, up the road the tail lights look very Ferrari-like to me going into turn 6. Oh, I think that's Vilander, who is already on lap number 340. He's behind on lap number 339. So he's now, Vilander also to stop, I think. So Overland potentially back to second. But it's like election night, isn't it? You know, as the opinion polls come in, the swingometer goes from one side to the other.
Steve Buncall on crunching the numbers for the last couple of hours for Tony Motorsports. On that last pit stop, I asked them, "Are you guys good?" And they said, "We're rolling the dice, but we like our way. We didn't come here to finish second. We came here to win this thing." And he told me, "We're good to the end."
Oh, well, the Ferrari has very, very good fuel mileage. But we have seen in the past Ferrari stutter in the last mile and a half. And there is some incredulity from our colleagues in the network booth. I think I just heard Brian Till say, "No way!" in his inimitable way. I've got to say, Jeremy's crunching the numbers now. This is when they were last in.
Well, it certainly had in the race if they were going to get to the end. But you're on lap 14 laps since the pit stop. And
what do we think they're going to do? Is they're going to bring that in more?
5 laps to go over the force. It's certainly going to be tight.
Well, I love the fact they're rolling the dice.
That played it.
Nothing on the line for them other than the championship, of course. Other than the race win, of course. Not as if they're going to give up a championship. Wow. Now that is very, very good advice, because this is Bill Overland coming round to unlap himself from the lead car.
You know, I'm not sure we need to take a gamble on that, because they're only going to need a splash of fuel. They can take hardly any time at all. I would say you're better off going flat out, just making that stop, get it over with, and get out there, and you're still going to be out front.
Well, how far is Garcia behind them? That's the question. He hasn't yet come across the line. Vilander has. He's a long way back. He's a minute back, isn't he? He could possibly get in and out.
I think so.
Bill Overland on the flash button there. We'll go down the inside into turn number 6. Now, when you have a look down the inside of turn number 7, that's where the Corvettes were making the moves earlier, in the hands of Ollie Garrett. Now let's see who's got the ball. The Corvette didn't quite, rather did have the speed earlier on ahead of the BMW, but the Ferrari was still. So let's see how these guys go. Come on, Bill. Vilander's head.
Yeah, I'm coming through, says Bill.
Slightly deep.
There it is on, says Tony.
Very slightly, not going to compromise. Is Antonio Garcia in second place. He's a good half a lap behind there.
59 seconds behind him. Yeah, much more than half a lap. 59 seconds.
Down the pit lane, splash, out the gate. It's tight, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, he was running right there before around the pit stops. He needs less fuel. As soon as he didn't have a bottle of any sort of pit stop, it's a clean pit stop. He should get out comfortably in front. What he can't afford to do now is cut his pace back and then figure out they actually do need to make a pit stop at the end of the race.
Yeah, well, that
it could come down to where they are in relation to the overall race leader when the checkered flag flies.
Now that's Lee Keane, and he's ahead of Kumagir Maziak. Now that's a change from when they came out of the pit. It was the red car, if you remember, that was leading. So that's been a change out there in the guard. He done this, but Super Cup specialist is closing in on Lee Keane, who knows his way around these cars as well. And now we get interruption from the 055 of Marino Franchitti. Down a potential position with the tyres fresh in the 46 TDS by Thierry, European Le Mans Series engine car. So he doesn't want to be hanging about. 56 as well, the BMW wanting to get in on the act, and that's Dirk Müller behind the wheel. He's in fifth position. Final stop, I would say, Jeremy. They do 33 laps. I think probably they can. The rebellion has come to a halt.
This is expected to be the final stop for Rebellion Racing. Ilyani will stay in the car. It looks like it's also going to be fuel only. We did see in the heat of the day. Now the temperatures are much lower, and it's not going to be a problem for him to do it again.
You know, it's a shame we haven't had. It's a shame we haven't had Muscle Milk pushing these guys harder. But in fact, there's the irony. Of course, there's the Muscle Milk car just coming in behind them as they do it. Starts the Graves Motorsport car. Great battle early on, and I think we're very going to hold their head up high because on this, Lucas Lowe was perhaps gapping them a tiny bit when he had his, what if effectively was the race-defining incident, but they've set the pace. Watch manufacturer, they have run pretty smoothly.
Set the fastest lap on the race, 1:10.586. Way back on lap 4, that compares to 1:10.6. That's a bit slower, but that's that.